Belleville.
I'm Abe.
And I'm Peyton with your Glad TV Friday edition. The play You Can't Take It With You starts tonight. Rachel, Sarah, and Miranda show you what you can look forward to.
Hi! The play is coming up soon. It will be March 18th, 19th, and 20th. Great prices for students, just $5 for students and $10 for adults, $7 for senior citizens if you want to bring your grandparents. It's a really fun comedy. It's a 3-act, full-length comedy, and it's about this... Okay, so Martin Vanderhoff is the grandpa, and he's this wacky guy who keeps snakes and collects stamps and doesn't pay his income tax because he doesn't believe in income tax. And then he's got these kids, Penny and her husband Paul, who live there. Penny, played by Rosalind Opolka, and Paul, played by Jonathan Asel, and their kids, Essie and Alice. And all of these characters are really wacky and zany and do funny things, like Paul's character makes firecrackers in the basement with his sidekick, Mr. DePinna, who's the Iceman who dropped off ice one day and then never left because he just decided to live with them. And Penny, Roz's character, is a playwright, and she's always working on these plays, but the only reason she's a playwright is because a typewriter got delivered to their house accidentally, like 8 years ago, so she just starts typing. Then there's this daughter, Essie, who thinks she can dance really well, played by May Harvey, and actually she's a horrible dancer and can't dance well at all. She has a Russian ballet instructor named Boris Kalinkov, who's played by Cole Tomlin, and he does a wonderful Russian accent, and he's hilarious, especially when he's dancing around on his toes. Then we have the normal member of the family, Alice Sycamore, played by Audrey Trinka, and she works at a bank, and she falls in love with the banker's son, Tony, played by Bryant Martin. Well, hello, Mitchell.
Yeah. Hello.
Late, as usual.
Yeah.
So anyway, then we have, so they come to dinner, and it's kind of like Meet the Parents, because the normal, conservative, wealthy family comes to dinner at the Sycamores, and they come on the wrong night, when everyone is in the middle of their craziness. And so basically anything that can go wrong, goes wrong. And it's horribly embarrassing for the normal daughter because she really wants to marry this guy, and she doesn't want the guy to know what weirdos her family members are. So everyone can relate, those of us who have weird family members that we're embarrassed of. And but it's got a great message about being yourself, and really it's the normal people who turn out to be kind of the weirdos, I think. So it's got a great message, it's got lots of humor, it's really funny. It's set in the 1930s, so we have great costumes. So I hope everybody comes out and supports. We only have one play this year, so I'm really, really hoping to have the audience just full, just the seats full. So please come, support theater. Thanks.
Be sure to come out tonight and support the theater program. Have you ever played charades? Well, Peyton and I show you how FHS plays charades. Hi, I'm Abe.
And I'm Peyton, and we're your hosts for this edition of Charades.
How about meeting our contestants?
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay, here we have Courtney Harris and Erica Fox against Andrew Spalding and Corey Lemieux. Your cards are up there. Please do not open them until you're directed to do so. All right, let's begin.
Fine, dude, fine. That's fine. Running.
Dropping something.
Like running. Running. Running.
Dropping baby.
Running
Giving
like-
birth.
Yes!
Wrong way! I mean... Elephant. Watching an elephant.
Yeah,
let's go!
Internet, computer,
Boyfriend, girlfriend.
dating,
Damn!
dating.
Oh.
Yes!
Oh. Wiping your butt. Toilet paper. Money. Dollars.
Yes, but
Make it rain.
no, it was
Fighting.
one of
Boxing.
those.
Boxing. Punching. Fighting. You got them all. Yeah.
Well, that was fun. Now the team with the most points was the boys with 14 points. Congratulations. playing. Part 2 will air next week. With spring break only a week away, John and Philip show you to stay above the influence.
Good morning, everybody. I've been asked why it's important to stay above the influence. And I can tell you that you guys are all well aware that there are many, many lessons in life, from in the classroom, outside the classroom. But one of the most important lessons I feel, and even with my son who is 6 years old every day before he goes to school, I really try hard to make sure that he knows that he's going to be put in a lot of places. You guys are going to be put in a lot of places where you have to make decisions. And a lot of times you're going to have people try to influence you to do some things that are wrong. And the reason that they do that is because they know it's wrong too, and they want you to be involved in it, because the more people that are involved in it, it's a way they validate it. And if you make that decision to be influenced in a negative way, to make wrong choices, that puts you on a path that doesn't lead to very much success. So making sure you stay above that influence, know what you do is right for you, what's right in your heart and in your mind, and you'll be on the right path.
Why do I stay above the influence? I stay above the influence because drugs are bad. Don't do drugs.
I believe you should stay above the influence because doing drugs is bad. As myself an example, I stay above the influence for my team and my teammates.
I stay above the influence because it's important to stay in school and not do drugs, because education is important. Stay in school, kids.
Information about staying above the influence can be found in the counseling office in the main hall. With spring break right around the corner, we remind you to stay safe and stay above the influence, Father Bill.
Don't forget that the deadline for senior scholarships is due today, March 18th. Seniors, we also need pictures of you and your friends for the senior video. Please submit all pictures to jordank123@gmail.com.
Also, juniors need to sign up for the free SAT workshop on March 24th. See your English teacher for more details. This has been Peyton
And Abe,
signing off. Have a great day.